My name is Carson. Welcome to Thrifty Garage, a channel where we do everyday repairs, how-tos, and reviews. And behind me here, we've got 20 10mm sockets we're going to do the ultimate test on. We've got an endurance durability test. We're going to take a look at their country of origin, where they're made, see what manufacturers have the same location, facilities, even a hometown. We did have some interesting findings on what companies made the same tools. We're really going to do a deep dive on these different sockets to try and get a better picture of the auto tool, the mechanic tool industry, and learn more about them. I'm really excited for the durability test. We may split this off into a couple different videos. So we've got a pricing comparison. We've got them ranked here from lowest price to the highest price. Snap-on being the most expensive there. But I'm really excited about this video, so let's get into it. Let's compare the pricing on these sockets. On the right here we've got the most expensive. On the left we've got the least expensive. Because some of these came in sets, I had to find a way to calculate the costs, and I just did that with some averages. Some of these sockets come in multiple sets, and I just bought an individual, so I found the average price increase and use that to determine the costs. My calculated cost for this Harbor Freight Pittsburgh Pro socket was $1.39. Next to that we've got the Walmart HyperTough for $1.68. Next up we got the first individual socket which I purchased on Amazon, and that is this Crescent. This is a 12 point as well as the Pittsburgh Pro is a 12 point. We've got $262 for this Crescent from Amazon, $297 for this Husky from Home Depot, the Kobalt from Lowe's. I had to go back to Lowe's a second time in order to pick this up. The first time they didn't have any. This Kobalt was the same price as the Husky at $297. Next up we've got the Performance 2 at $308 at Amazon. Gearwrench $315 at Amazon. Napa Evercraft was $329. On my first visit to Lowe's I was able to pick up this Craftsman for $348. Oreilly has the Power Torque at $449. On my second visit to Napa I was able to pick up this Carlyle for $449. We've got the Harbor Freight Icon, which came in a set, came out to be my calculated price of $452. Tecton, we've got a price of $491 from Amazon. OEM Tools from Amazon, $498. Duralast, picked up that from Autozone for $499. This Uxel actually came in a 2-pack, 2 for $608, and individually they can be found for $543, so that's the price I used on that. This DeWalt was also on Amazon for $556. We got this Capri Tools on Amazon for $599. Unfortunately, our channel lock is not here yet. Our channel lock has been delayed in shipping. We've got another possibly 5 days before that will arrive, and that came in at a price of $623, and that was the most expensive of the Amazon purchases and in-store purchases. And lastly, of course, the most expensive here is the Snap-on. I did not purchase this. I already had this, and this came in at a price of $17.30 as listed on their website. By far the most expensive. One intriguing finding that I had is where these were made, and in fact obviously the one that was made in the USA was the Snap-on here, and the majority of these were actually made in Taiwan. I know there's been a lot of critiquing about Chinese made tools, and most of these were actually made in Taiwan. So with that said, let's actually look at the ones that were made in China and disregard the ones that were made in Taiwan. So the HyperTough from Walmart, Crescent, and Husky were all made in China. We skip all these and go to the Lowe's Craftsman, which was made in China. And then we skip all the way down here to the Duralast and Excel, both which were made in China. I believe this Capri Tools was made in Taiwan, but I do have a question mark next to that, as well as this channel lock. We're waiting to see where that was made. Channel lock and channel lock blue, registered trademarks of Channel Lock Inc. Several of these tools come from the same tool group, tool manufacturer, or same origin, location, company origins. Harbor Freight, no surprise here. We got the Pittsburgh Pro and the Icon, both made by Harbor Freight out of Carlyle, California. These two were a little bit surprising to me. Both Crescent and Gearwrench come from the Apex tool group, and they do come from different origins. So the Crescent comes from Apex, North Carolina, which is their distribution center, and the Gearwrench comes from Sparks MD, which is their corporate headquarters. That's the tag on the back, says where they come from. And another interesting thing there is that the Gearwrench is made in Taiwan and the Crescent is made in China. So two different sources, two different plants, but the Gearwrench does come out of a facility that makes several Crescent tools. So there is some interconnection between those two companies. Again, not much surprise here for the Napa tools. Both are registered under the Balkamp Inc. tool group. They are sourced from different locations. The Evercraft is sourced from Indianapolis, and the Carlyle is sourced from Plainfield. They are both made in Taiwan. Again, another surprise here for me. These are both listed underneath their own individual tool groups. Craftsman on the back says it's from Craftsman, DeWalt on the back says it's from DeWalt, but they both come from the same address in the same town. They come out of Towson, MD. So pretty interesting findings on these tools. Where they come from, I guess we should take a look at these and see if there's any similarities. You know, these two do look identical, except for the stamping. The molds are pretty, oh, the DeWalt is taller, so there are some differences there. Same height, but different sidewalls there. So we got differences there. They are coming out of different countries as well. The gear wrench is taller. The gear wrench has 2 bands, as well as the ribbing, and the crescent just has the ribbing. So again, we got a different mold on these. Pretty obvious on the crescent versus icon. Not a lot of similarities there. Difference in height. We've got 12 point versus 6 point. It's pretty unlikely they're using the same mold for these. I think it is time to finally detag these. We're going to be doing the rock tumbler test. Here we've got our rock tumbler. We're going to put them all in here. We're going to roll them together with some grit and see if we can get them to beat up each other, see what comes out on top. One thing that I wasn't at first worried about, but once my friend mentioned it, what happens if I can't distinguish these from one another? That's really concerning to me. I think we've got enough variances in the exterior that we'll be able to tell the difference. And most of these have their own name on them, and they're unique enough that we should be able to identify them. I have no clue. You know, this has 2 ways of going down. These things could completely obliterate each other to the point that nobody can identify any of them, or they could all come out looking exactly the way they do, and, you know, who knows. So we'll see how they come out. I'm really curious and intrigued to see how they come out. We'll go ahead and take them off all these tags and get them set up on the socket rail here and get them side by side. I want to do some visual comparisons, see how big and easy they are to read, and rate them that way. As well as I actually want to do a spreadsheet and rank them and give them points. So the ones that are cheapest are going to get the most points. The ones that are easiest to read the letters on are going to get the most points. The ones that end up being the most durable, the most points, and we'll see what one wins overall as the best value. Okay, curiosity's got the best of me. I believe this is the one with the sockets in it. It's been in there probably 2-3 days now. Let's see what they look like. Any changes? Leave it in the comments. What do you think they're gonna look like? Think they're gonna be destroyed? Not a scratch on them? Look all the same? Oh boy. We got foam. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching Thrifty Garage.